Hi, this is Christina, and I wanted to expose a point that I have seen within people within my reality, and this is in relation to people who define and recognize themselves as Christians who live by the Bible um, and participate in these kind of belief systems. And this person was projecting some abusive words and hate basically towards another person, and I made a comment like, said the Christian, kind of, commenting in a way of like, well, I thought you were a Christian. I thought Christians were supposed to be examples of God's love and stuff like that. And what he had said to me back was, God forgives, implying that he can be hateful and abusive towards other people because God forgives him. God forgives. And this is like the whole point within Christianity that justifies and allows abuse to exist within humanity, in humans, in people, in our minds. That, we can have judgments about someone. We can have relationships with people in our lives, in our reality, that exist within abuse, where we judge them, or we have an idea about them, or we have our own opinions about them, and it can be abusive, yet we justify it through saying God forgives. So it's like saying, I can exist in as much abuse I want. I can hate people in this world, or I can have moments where I hate and moments where I sin, and it's okay because God forgives me. So, we can see within that it's a complete abdication of self-responsibility, implying that I, as a human, am imperfect. I will make mistakes. I will hate other people, and I will judge other people. But it's okay because I have God on my side and he forgives me. So within that, we're just allowing ourselves to constantly cycle within abuse. We are not at all taking responsibility for ourselves in stopping the abuse, in stopping the hate, in stopping the judgments. Through our own self-will, through our own self-responsibility, through our own self-will, where we see to hate another person is to hate ourselves and is abuse of life. And it should not be accepted. It should not be tolerated within ourselves. Yet we justify the evil that exists within us as hate towards each other by saying God forgives. God will forgive me for hating another human being. God will forgive me for not, standing up within this world in questioning what is going on. God will forgive me for my life of sin. God will forgive me for having impure thoughts. I can ask forgiveness from God whenever I want. Therefore, I can constantly make mistakes, and I can constantly repeat the same patterns that I have always existed in because God will forgive me. All I have to do is keep asking for forgiveness. So there's no correction within that. And that's where that's where we can see there's never been a solution within Christianity as a principled living, because it's just an abdication of life, where we say that there's something greater than us that is going to forgive us. Therefore, I have no power to change myself. I can only ask for forgiveness. When how can anyone forgive you if you can't forgive yourself? How can forgiveness be real if you're not forgiving yourself? It's like someone could give you something, or someone could offer you something, or someone could say something about you, but unless it is within you as an acceptance of yourself, it won't be real. Therefore, forgiveness is not real unless it is within our own self, forgiving ourself for what we are doing here, for what we are accepting and allowing, for what we are participating in. And it's not God's responsibility to forgive us, because we are the ones that are here. We are the ones that are living a life on this planet with each other, and we are the ones actively participating in what this world currently is. So forgiveness is not outside of ourselves, and we required to reconsider why we allow ourselves to exist within abuse and hate towards each other with the excuse that God forgives. So investigate destiny, where we learn to walk the tool of self-correction, because really it comes down to God or people or family or friends might forgive you, but if you're not willing to forgive yourself, then again it's not real. And through self-forgiveness, we have the opportunity for self-correction, where once we forgive ourselves, we are then in a position to correct it, realizing that we're going to face the same patterning and the same cycles and the same ways of living that we have accepted ourselves to, the nature of ourselves. We're going to face the nature of ourselves, but through self-forgiveness, we are then providing ourselves with support to, within a moment of facing our nature, to no longer accept and allow it. And that's where we correct it. That's how we change the nature of ourselves. Because forgiveness is cool, but unless we can live that forgiveness, it's not real. And that's where, again, it comes down to self. It comes down to each person, to myself. I am the one that has to forgive myself. I am the one that has to take responsibility. I am the one that has to change. God cannot do that for me if I'm not willing to do that for myself. And if I'm looking for God to give me forgiveness, then obviously I'm not doing it for myself. Therefore, it is not real. It is only real when self takes that directive stance to say, I see who I am, I see what I'm allowing, and I will not allow it anymore. And I will forgive myself for this, and I will correct myself in moments so that I do not allow this again. Because I realize that who I am as an active participant within this reality is co-creating everything that is here. I am responsible for what is here as this existence. And so, suggest to investigate destiny, where we're learning to walk with these tools of principled living, where we see each other as equals and we realize that we are each other, and the hate that we project and the judgments and the abuse that we project onto each other is a reflection of ourselves. It is ourselves showing to ourselves who we are. Thus, we require to forgive ourselves and to correct ourselves. And let's remove this idea of God from the equation, because it's irrelevant. There is nothing outside of you that can forgive you. You have to forgive yourself. It is only then that it's real. So this is just a point I wanted to make. When this person had spoke these words, God forgives, it was just like, fuck up. It's just a fuck up. These justifications that I can exist in separation within my mind and have these judgments and hates and opinions about other people without fucking regarding at all what I'm actually accepting and allowing within myself. And it's cool because God will forgive me. I have a special place for me when I die, because I have asked God to forgive me. And I have given Him all the power, and I have limited myself, and I have given away my power to forgive myself to God, and that's what He requires of me. So let's just stop being good little slaves and start standing up for life as we are here as life, and the way we are currently manifesting life to be is unacceptable, and we must stop these justifications and excuses and beliefs that something is going to forgive us. There is nothing. We either forgive ourselves now, or we face the consequences of having to walk through a life where we are then left alone to see that we are alone. We are the only ones here. We must be the ones to change and forgive. So investigate destiny, investigate self-forgiveness, self-correction, changing the nature of who we are, as this is what is best for all. Thanks.